the depths of my mind, a demonic cackle. Joker's grin, mocking me, ready for battle. Chasing reality.
Yo, what is going on YouTube? My name is Andrew, aka the Black Dragon. This is Black Dragon Studios. And we're back with another episode of Raid Shadow Legends. No, we're not doing a video on the extra legendary event today. We're not going to be opening up any shards for the legendary event. Instead, what we're going to be doing, we're going to be focusing on something a little more practical, something a little more free-to-play friendly, something that just about everybody can get involved with that is like mid-game and on. Like anybody that's not early game, basically, is what I'm trying to say. You have some champions built out. You're pretty much getting there, but you're maybe not quite there yet. You will be able to do this. It's Ice Golem tournament and using only epic champions, and it's a tournament we got going on right now where you can actually get some prism shards, where you can actually get, which is a really, really good reward, because what these things give you is prismal shards, which is 30 to summon. So you actually get a free sacred shard just by completing this crazy event. And it's not that hard to complete. Like, I've done 15 runs on double raids, so like maybe 30 runs, 30 regular runs, and I'm already at 400 points. I've only used like 2 energy refills. I'm not even kidding you. And I'm already at like 445 points. I'm going to show you guys how to get to Ice Golem 25 using only epics. And it's not that hard. Don't turn off the video. Oh my god, I don't have the gear. I don't have the champions. You probably do, and you just don't know it. That's why you've clicked on this video. Another thing, I don't want to farm Ice Golem's Peak. It's so slow. It's so boring. There's no good gear there. Yes, there is. There is. Trust me. 3 times reflex drops right now. Reflex is like the top 5 set in the game, man. 40% chance to reduce a random skill cooldown by 1 turn. Also, the curse set, 4-piece set, 50% chance to place hex debuff for 2 turns. So we're reducing skill cooldowns. This is good on any champion with high skill cooldowns. Revivers, support champions, nukers, anything at all, man. PvE, PvP, it's good for every asset of the game. And then curse, good for Hydra, really good for Hydra. And provoke, really good for Hydra if you don't have a provoke champion. Resistance gear is nothing to shake your head at, as you'll see in this video. And retaliation gears is okay, and then we don't really care about these 4 sets here. But yeah, we're gonna go be doing this team will work. These teams that I'm using will work in any stage of Ice Golem. So we're gonna do the hardest stage, 25, but I'm gonna show you guys that you do not need crazy gear to do Ice Golem. I'm actually gonna make this my Ice Golem team because this is literally the god team right here. So we're gonna go through the champions. We're gonna start off the video by going through champions you could use. You have to use epics for this video. So even if you wanted to use a rare or a legendary, it's not happening for this video. So we're just going to focus on epics for this video. The first things you want to focus on is, what are the strengths and weaknesses of the Ice Golem? Well, the first strength of the Ice Golem is that he's got a very hard-hitting AoE ability. So you got to plan for that. You're going to want 2 things for the Ice Golem to start out with. You're going to want Reviver, you're going to want increased defense, and you're going to want decreased attack. Those are the 3 things. Reviver, increased defense, and decreased attack are going to be the buffs that you're looking for. Secondary buffs that would be really good in Ice Golem are Veils, Perfect Veils, because they're going to reduce the damage reduction overall that your team takes. And another one that's really good against the Ice Golem is decreased crit rate, because the Ice Golem only has 15% crit rate in any stage. So if you use somebody that gives him decreased crit rate, he'll never hit a lucky crit against your team and just one-shot your whole team. So that is why I've think that Mausoleum Mage gets an honorable mention. Yeah, he could be on an Ice Golem team. He is just a very good support champion, but I tested it. It really worked for me. Eox the Rememberer is the Ice Golem King. The Ice Golem King. Give him a 5-star rating. Whoever gave him less than a 5-star rating, watch my video. You're about to change your mind. Okay? You're about to change your mind. So, I'll show you Eox the Rememberer. I got him in Lifesteal gear with War Master. So he's always going to have full health. He's a support champion with very high HP, decent speed, and good accuracy. That's all you need on EX to remember. So his A1 poisons. So poison is really good. We'll get into the reasons why in a minute. Poison is so good on Ice Golem. But first of all, he's healing. Lore of Restoration. Heals all allies. Heals each ally by an extra 2.5% for each debuff on the target. So he's attacking one enemy and he's healing each ally by an extra 2.5 for each debuff on the target. We are going to max the debuff meter out on every single enemy in today's video. So we are going to be healing for a potentially extra 8 times 2.5, an extra 18%, 20% heal. 20%, 25%, 20%, whatever. I don't know. It's a lot of fucking healing. And then, this is his bread and butter. On a 3-turn cooldown, Weight of Eons places a 50% decreased attack on places, which is very important. Affinity doesn't matter because he's placing decreased attack on all enemies for 2 turns. Also has a chance of placing decreasing each enemy's turn meter by 20%, which is 100% when fully booked. Places a 30% decreased crit rate on the target for 2 turns if they have 50% or more turn meter after the turn meter decrease. So the main thing is decreased attack. Decreased attack, decreased attack. Nail this into your head. Decreased attack is very important for this boss. And then Steward of Time, very good passive, increases the duration of 2 random debuffs on the attacker by 1 turn when attacked, occurs once per hit. Very, very good passive. So he's going to be increasing the duration of debuffs on the enemies. 60 accuracy in Doom Tower battles, irrelevant for this video, but very good otherwise. I've went down the offense tree for War Master. You can run him in your clan boss team. He's going to be very good. Be your poisoner and your decreased attack, alternate poisoner and your decreased attack, as well as your debuff extender for clan boss, as well as I went into Master Hexer, which is just hilarious. Master Hexer on Eox is broken, as well as I went accuracy down the healing tree for more accuracy, and Cycle of Magic for decreasing the cooldown of a random skill. His heal is also on a 3-turn cooldown. You really want to make sure you can book out your Eox to Remember, but you could replace your Eox to Remember with any decreased attack champion. Ursula does decreased attack, AoE. You just need to make sure that she has enough accuracy to land it. Who else has decreased attack? We could find out. We could find out real quick. Decreased attack. The big version. The small version will work too, but the big version is better. Rector Drath, great option for that. I wouldn't really go for Maneater. Thane has a decreased attack on her A2. Just make sure you have that booked out fully. Who else? Sepulture Sentinel, kind of an interesting one. Actually really good for this. Would be really good for Ice Golem. Increased defense and block debuffs, and decreased attack, and 25% chance of completely blocking incoming damage when an ally is attacked. Venom Mage, decreased attack, poisons, heal reductions. You know, A1 for damage reduction as well. Venom Mage is top tier. for this boss. Light Sworn, decrease attack and decrease speed, increase defense on all allies, and a revive on death. Yeah, Light Sworn is lights out for this boss, and a decreased turn meter on his A1. Okay, so those are some options you could go with for your decreased attack champion. You must have a decreased attack champion. If you don't, you're going to need these things. You're going to need perfect fails, strengthens, increased defense. This one does it all. Okay, Ursula the Mourner, she's got your revive all. She's got your increased defense and your strengthen. And when the revive happens, 75% HP to all dead allies and fills her turn meter by 50%. Decreased attack AoE on her A2. We already said that. So you're going to want increased defense, strengthen. You could also go for a guy like Mausoleum Mage. Let's go with the filter again here. So, looking for buffs here. If we're not going to be debuffing, we're going to be wanting buffs. Okay. We're just looking at epics today. So Mausoleum Mage is your next best option. Places an increased crit rate, increased defense, and block debuffs on all allies. 3-turn cooldown. Very good skill. Plus heal. Plus cleanse all allies. Very good skill. And decreased speed. Very good skill. Very good kit. Look at the reviews for this epic champion. Do you really think he's an epic champion if he's getting these kinds of reviews in all areas of the game? I don't think so, man. I think he's at best a B tier platinum, right? At best a B minus tier champion. Come on now, guys. Okay, so you've got Seeker. That was a joke, by the way. Increase attack on allies, fills turn meter, provoke, irrelevant. Increase defense. We're not looking at We're looking at increased defense champions in Epic right now. Cardinal, great option for this level. Revives all dead allies, heals them at 25% of their max HP, and then boosts their turn meter to max. But that's on the 7-turn cooldown. You're probably going to want to book that. And then only places increased defense on one ally, and then poisoning on her A1. Not the best option. There are better options. Sepulture Sentinel, like I mentioned before, probably your best option, honestly, next to Mausoleum Mage and Ursula. Okay, so those are your ways to stay alive. Now we're going to need some offense. How are we doing that? Well, the best thing to do against this boss is to poison and HP burn. Raw damage is great, but that will run you into some trouble because he will do a retaliatory strike at 80%, 60%, 45%, 30%, and 15% health. If you hit him, he'll do a retaliatory strike, but he won't do it if he goes through that damage checkpoint by HP burn or poison. So the best way to kill this guy consistently with epics is to poison him or HP burn. So obviously your best champions to go with for those, we're going to go through the filter again here, just the ones I have. These are the ones you could have too, so these are the ones you could easily have. Let's first go with the Poisoner. Poisoner is your most important thing. So again, we got Eox, we've got Aother, we've got Fane. Fane is incredible. We've got Kale. Kale is good. Venom Mage is probably your best bet because he also brings you that damage reduction and that decreased attack, as well as decreased defense. So there's that. Frack in the Fat. What is Frack in the Fat? Decreased defense buff for 2 turns. HP burn and poison. Yes, very good. Very good option. Frack in the Fat. Yep. So there's those. But me personally, I would go with Aother and Aox. Just me personally. There are other options as well, but those are the poisoners that I would go with. Why did I just unlock Eox? Okay, so then you maybe want an HP burner as well as somebody that could do some other things. So you got your Mordecais, you got your Geomancers, you got your Frack and the Fats, you've got your Coffin Smashers. We're not doing rares today, we're doing epics. So obviously my go-to is Geomancer. You know, I'm going to use Geomancer over everybody else because of his passive. Decreases the damage all allies receive by 15% and deflects that damage onto an enemy under an HP burn debuff placed by this champion. So he's deflecting damage if you place an HP burn on them. Whenever this champion is attacked, deflects 30% of the damage instead. When deflecting damage on each enemy hit, has a 30% chance of dealing an additional enemy max HP attack. So it's basically a Giant Slayer built right into his kit, which is crazy. And his Quicksand Grasp on a 3-turn cooldown fully depletes target turn meter and then places an HP burn and a weaken for 3 turns. It's 100% when booked on a 3-turn cooldown. It's really good because it places it rather than hits it. So it can go on weak affinity as well as a buff stealer on his A2, as well as reduces the cooldown of Quicksand Grasp by 2 turns if the target is killed by the skill. It's a very hard hitting A2 and an A1 that attacks all enemies and places decreased accuracy for 2 turns. Decreased accuracy is pretty relevant in this boss because this boss does have a freeze AoE as well as AoE decrease attack. I believe AoE decrease speed as well, but I think I might be wrong on that. But I know it's for sure an AoE decrease attack and an AoE freeze. So decreasing this guy's accuracy is going to be key. Plus he has an HP aura in all battles. Extra HP is just so good against this boss. Okay, so I'll show you guys my team. I got Aox, the Rememberer. Where are you there, buddy? I've shown you his build. I've not shown you Ursula's build. Ursula is my Reviver. So I've got her in regen gear with high HP and a good speed. And a little bit of accuracy and resistance as well. And then I just went down. The defense tree for masteries increases ally resistance by 5 for each buff placed on them by this champion. Remove buffs with Resurgent. Extra resistance. Decreases damage when this champion is hit with a critical hit. And then I went into Timely Intervention. So yeah, that's what I would go with for her masteries. And the regen gear so you can regenerate health, and then the immortal gear so you can regenerate health and get extra HP. I don't have any blessing on her, but I think the obvious blessing for her would be Chainbreaker. Or emergency heal. Or even survival instinct. Okay, so that's my build for her. And then Eox the Remember, I showed you his build. You got Lifesteal, War Master, the whole deal. Lots of accuracy, good speed. And then my Eother is actually weak affinity for this boss, but still works. Still works, really good. He's got attacks 4 times at random, each hit places a 5% poison for 2 turns. Block active skills on his A3, and stealing buffs on his A1. I have him fully booked out. I have him in random jumble gear, high percent crit rate, very low crit damage, good accuracy, and the rest of his stats are just irrelevant. And then I just went all the way down to War Master here and got accuracy, Cycle of Magic, down into Master Hexer here to extend those poisons for 1 turn longer. Into my Geomancer's gear, just jumbled gear. It's my clan boss build. Slow Geo, slow boy Geo, good crit damage. I think he's actually got really high crit damage. 235 crit damage, not bad. Crit capped, good attack, decent HP, low defense, and good accuracy. Because I have him in an unkillable clan boss build, but he works in this just fine. With War Master, accuracy, and into Master Hexer. Who else was on the team? Deacon Armstrong. Yes, this is like the unsung hero, man. If you want to go ahead and get some extra damage in, some extra poisons, no one better to do this job than Deacon Armstrong. Not only is he going to give you an increase turn meter and decrease turn meter on his A3 on a 3-turn cooldown, he's also going to give you decreased defense, AoE, as well as an A1 leech. So the leech, you're going to gain life whenever you attack the enemy. And if you have War Master, you're just going to get a full heal. But he's got the toxic set. So when he does his AoE, he's going to place poisons. And when he does his A1, he's going to place poisons. So you're going to see that we're getting through these runs quite quickly with this build. Okay? Deacon Armstrong is the guy. Which other team comps you could go with here? Instead of Deacon Armstrong, you could put in a guy like Mausoleum Mage or just another Reviver and just go with the 2 damage dealers here. Or you could go with someone like any damage dealer, really. Or any speed lead, really. Any speedy guy that can speed up your team. You could put them in this position. Fracking the Fat, you know, anybody. Anybody at all. But just have a Reviver, have a healer, have a decreased attack, have an increased defense, and you're all good to go, man. Just put in whatever offensive champions you want, as long as they're poisoning and HP burning. That's really all it is. We're going to go right into stage 5, 25, normal, and we're going to slay the giant. Let's go. So, I'm gonna slow it down for you guys. We're gonna go right into the run here. Ursula has placed increased defense and strengthen on all of our teammates, and she will place that for 3 turns on everybody. Some of them will get 4 turns because of the mastery, which is really nice. Eother did something. I don't know what he did there, but it wasn't much of anything. I think he went for his A2 instead of his poison, which is kind of weird. So now Deacon's going to go in and place poisons on everybody with his poison set and decrease defense. And then Eox is going to do the big Weight of Eons, which is the big power move here. Decrease attack on all enemies. Throughout this whole match, and decrease crit rate for anybody whose turn meter has been decreased enough, I guess. I don't know even how that works. And then Geo's going to go in with his first HP burn. Put it on this guy here. Got the block active skills. And then Ursula's going to try and do an AoE. Decreased attack, whatever. Eox has already done the job, but just in case it wasn't done good enough, she's going to put in her work here, and then we're just going to start going ham. Working down those waves. The run should take around 7 minutes. What I like to do when I'm running a dungeon of any kind is I first like to go for consistency. Can I get a 100% run on the level that I want to get 100% run on the level that I want to do regularly? Or once I've done that, now I can look for speed. What's the fastest that I can possibly get in terms of speed for this dungeon? while doing it at 100% run, and just keep, you know, improving from there. So in my opinion, this is the best setup for an epic team you could have. 2 support champions and 3 damage dealers, and then like a speedy kind of guy that does a lot of utility kind of stuff, like a Deacon Armstrong, who's also going to bring you a lot of offense with those poisons as well. It just works. It just works. And you'll see here, I'm going to let the run go through, you'll see how it works. How easily it works, how we're never in danger of really dying because of that decreased attack that's on 100% of the time, and all of the other debuffs in unison with all the buffs that are being placed on us. It just works so nicely. That is, of course, if you're doing stage 25. And the better artifacts you get, the luckier you are. If you're getting 6-star legendary artifacts, you're going to do the event much quicker. That's why it's better to do the stage 25 than it is the stage 20, because you're going to get more 6-star legendary artifacts in stage 25. It's just that simple. If you can go even higher, great, you know, so be it. Be my guest. But again, this bot does hit. This boss hits very, very hard. He's nearly killed my team on this stage here, so I don't potentially know how we could do stage 25 on hard. But I'm sure some people would be able to think of a team that could do it. Like build a specific unkillable team that has speed tune and everything, with like, I'm thinking like unkillable Demetha block damage type shit, but I don't have that yet. So we've got the strengthen, we've got the increased defense. Boss has decreased attack. He's never killing us. He's never killing us from this point forward. As long as those buffs are there, even with his big smack there, we say, no, sir, no, we don't want any of that. He barely even tickled us. I think he did like 5k damage with that attack. That normally does about 30 to 40. He's never killing us. He's never killing us from this point forward.
He's never killing us. He's never killing us from this point forward.
And that time was a little different because we didn't have the increased defense or strengthen. This is where it gets a little dicey. With that decreased attack on him still, we should be able to revive our team, thank God. But if that decreased attack wasn't there, we would definitely have gotten killed there. Our Ursula definitely would have died there. That is why the decreased attack is so important. And having the reviver, preferably the revive all, is so important there. Or else you're just cooked, right? It's layers. You gotta layer yourself in terms of security. First with the decreased attack, then you want to build off that with a reviver, and then you want to build off that with the strengthens and the increased defense. You don't necessarily need the strengthens. You could get away with just the increased defense, but it's nice to have those strengthens, or the perfect fails as well from Richter Drath. Things like that, right? We'll go in and do it again here. Just so you know, it's not a fluke. We got kind of unlucky there to have our whole team get shot down. All of our buffs kind of wore off there, but luckily, like I said, the decrease attack is just so important. So important to have that on. It's just about as important to have the decrease attack on here as it is to have it on a non-unkillable clan boss team. You really, really need that decrease attack. Have I stated it enough, guys, that you need the decrease attack? Or do you want me to repeat it once more? You guys need to have the decrease attack if you want to get through these higher stage dungeons. It's just a must. If you want to run budget comps like this. As you can see there, we've already skipped through a couple of the health checkpoints that the boss's passive would normally proc his revive, freeze, and super hard hitting AoE. Well, our poisons allow us to skip those a lot of the time. Not there, but thankfully we were able to avoid most of that damage with the decrease attack and the decrease the increase strengthens and increased defense. Nearly got taken out there, but as you can see there, that boss does do a lot of damage. Holy man, oh man. He is crazy, crazy, crazy. So I would say it's pretty solid. If you have better gear, you could probably make it even more solid. But a 6-minute run on Ice Golem 25 that I would say mostly going to be like 98%. You might get the odd unlucky break and just die somehow. Your Solar gets killed or your Reviver gets killed. But yeah, this is it, man. I hope you guys are gonna get the top reward in this tournament and maybe even come in first place, because a lot of people will just skip over this and not even do it. Simply for the fact that they just don't want to. They don't like Ice Golem. A lot of people don't like farming Ice Golem. They don't have an Ice Golem team to farm with. I've only done about 15 runs. 15 regular runs, and we're already at 526 points. We'll probably get second place, which is some decent Relentless gear, which I'd be happy with. 4 pieces of 6-star epic Relentless gear is nothing to scoff at. And obviously, yeah, we're happy if we can get at least even, forget these, you know, give me the Primal Shard, man. Give me the mystic shard, whatever the hell it's called. Give me the give me the enlightened shard. God, they're just making so many new shards these days. Give me the prismatic shard. You know? And then wait for the 2x. Do they have a 2x on these shits? I'm sure they do, man. I mean, you could go buy one for $6.99. Get this, Kay. Get this. It costs 30 to summon, but we'll sell you 20.
So the most important thing you gotta remember is, okay, so some people were, they were doing some stuff, and then other people were like, hey, don't do that stuff, and then other people were like, hey, yeah, they should do, that stuff. It's good that they're doing that stuff, and then the other people were like, I don't think they should be doing that stuff, and then
we'll sell you 20, but it costs 30 to summon. Good marketing scam, man. I'm telling you. Alright, guys, I'm getting out of here for today. Peace out.